Hello, everybody, and welcome, everyone. This is the Connect Show, where we share stories from small business owners and where we help our small business owners thrive. This is season 3, episode 19. Can't believe it. And even with no snow on the ground, it is winter outside. I'll take it. I'm totally okay with that. My name's Tracy Champagne, and I am the owner of Small Business Milwaukee, where we help small businesses with their digital marketing, any sort of resources that they might need, getting their small business started. And I'm joined by my co-host, Kim Nack.
Hello, everyone. I am Kim Knock, and I am the founder and owner of Opportunities Knocking. I also do digital marketing. I do some event planning and a lot of other crazy things. Um,
Everybody wonders,
I know.
what's the crazy?
little stuff about winter. Super happy we don't have a ton of snow on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Wish it was a little warmer. John, thumbs down on that part. He must want snow. I'm not a snow person. I could snowbird. I really think I would love to do that. Like live somewhere warm in the winter.
I agree. I could do the same.
Because we have beautiful summers here. Wisconsin has some of the most beautiful summers. So I think I would totally miss that. I do. So,
but it is raining and it is cloudy.
Raining, yeah. I mean, we didn't see the sun for like 2 weeks, like between December and January. It was kind of crazy. So,
yeah.
So that's it.
So we always love to thank our sponsors and our partners. The Connect Show is brought to you by Connect Media Live, helping businesses with social media, video, and web development. If you would like to convert from one to one and move on to one to many, the tongue twister of the day, there'll probably be more. Connect Media Live can help. So visit connectmedia.com for more information.
We also have to thank our hosting sponsor, Expansive Workspace, where we broadcast live out of Studio A5 weekly. Expansive is a great place to work, a wonderful community, lots of fun people in the building, and it kind of gives you a sense of community when you're a solopreneur and you just need an office space to work out of. You still get to feel like you're part of a team. It's wonderful. If you are interested, there are 2 locations in the Milwaukee County in Wauwatosa, where we are, and downtown Milwaukee, and then also nationwide. So if you're interested, visit expansive.com.
As always, we are very thankful to have you come watch the Connect Show. If you have a topic you think we should be discussing, please email us at theideas@theconnectshow.com.
Today, we're really excited to welcome our 2 guests, Lisa Gregg and Gregory Dobbs. No relation. We have the same similar first and last names. We'll talk life's necessities, jerky, and water.
It's so
now
exciting.
You have to stick around to hear more about that.
Yeah. Everybody's wondering, jerky and water.
What does that have to do?
And always, we are very thankful that you have come to watch the Connect Show. I already said that one. No, it's supposed to be come and watch us live on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
And the
So say that. So say
that. Come and watch us live on the YouTubes and the Facebooks and the LinkedIns.
Share it, comment yes. Along with us.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interactive show.
I hope Mitch is watching right now.
I know. An interactive show is a better show. Check us out, join the conversation, add your comments to the chat. Producer John will add them back on the screen for us, and you get to be a part of the show. We also have to thank last week's guests, Mary Ann Carlson and Jane War. We talked about sales training, leadership training, and team building. So that was a really good show. I think they're all good.
That really was a good show. The Connect Show is better when it's interactive. So now we'll talk about what a great way it is for you guys to interact with us. So please put your comments in the chat on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube.
Absolutely. We are all volunteers here at the Connect Show. Jon, Tracy, myself, Mitch, we are on the show just about every week. We're doing things all throughout the week. We have a great team sending, reminder emails to our guests on how things are going to go. So thank you to Melina and Elaine. And we have a great group of people behind the scenes. If you're interested in being a volunteer, email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com and contribute to the mission.
Our quote of the day?
Our quote of the day. I eat beef jerky and ride with bare feet on the dashboard. Gillian Flynn, which is the author of Gone Girl and Others. It's kind of a fun quote to remind us to have fun and feel comfortable in our own skin. I like it. I like it.
So let's get this topic of the day started. Our question of today is, why is it so important to get to the relationship side of sales, and how comfortable are you, or how close do you get with your clients? That is a good question, because every client is different. Every relationship is different. And sometimes you're going to be more closer with them. Sometimes you're not. I think it kind of depends a little bit more on their level of what they're expecting, your client. And your
Sometimes,
customers.
yeah. But I feel like for me, I feel like the relationship comes before the client, because like you're as a social media manager and doing marketing, you are in charge of a lot of things. You get credit card information, you get passwords, you are in deep into a lot of their stuff. And so I feel like you really have to build that trust. And so relationships are really important to me. I try to nurture all clients, make them feel like they're the only client. And so I think that's really important for me. And that's how I take networking too. I mean, it's been much less clients that have come to me just from Googling me versus someone that I've already built a relationship with.
Right.
Or gotten a referral.
Yeah. So you think it's pretty good to get pretty close with your clients then, on like a very good relationship. I would have to agree with that as well.
We don't have to be best friends and going out, once a week
but you have to have
dinner,
like a good rapport between each other, good conversation. You can just pick up a phone and talk to them and ask them questions, or whatever you need to get done to get, to make the job flow easiest for both of you.
There definitely has to be a level of trust involved. And if you don't have the trust, I mean, the client could just go tomorrow. They're not going to care, and they're going to probably find someone that they work well with. And when you're building those relationships, you might also find out, I don't work so good with this person, and that's okay too. Because then you can refer off to other people because you've built relationships with other people.
Right. And then also, in addition to that, when you're working on your relationship, or you just get to know somebody, you'll find out right away that you're not a good fit for them. And you can just send them along to somebody else right away. And that is being a good, having a good customer relationship also, by being able to address the needs and figuring out what they need before going down a path that could be very frustrating.
Yeah. And like my favorite hashtag that I use, collaboration, not competition. You and I do so much similar stuff, but I'm like, hey, this is a good fit for you, or vice versa. We kind of help each other out that way. So not only building the relationship with your clients, but people that are in similar fields is not a bad thing too.
Right. Definitely. So, yeah. Especially with technology, there's so many different little things that you might not be better at than somebody else that might be better at.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're great at web development. I've found this new Pinterest thing that I'm loving. And so it's like, hey, I send the websites Tracy's way. If it's going to be a huge website, go ahead, Tracy, get that. And in turn, you do the same for me. So it works out really well in a relationship, as far as even co-working goes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So this is a great topic for others to get involved in the chat. Oh, we've got Mitch. He's watching. He's sorry for missed us the slide. He wants beef jerky when he feels better.
Yes. The beef jerky. I'm excited to hear about the beef jerky.
We miss you today, Mitch.
Yes.
Always miss when he's not here. John's like, kind of.
Are we ready to move into our first guest?
I think we can move on into our first guest. John, do you have anything to talk to the audience about today?
Absolutely. All right. So we have an event coming up, and it is called Mind Body Abundance. And it is a health and success expo here at Expansive Workspace. We have a bunch of vendors, lots of speakers, and it's really going to be a day to grow, to learn about great health benefits that you can get from sources that you may never have thought of. So it is on the 4th of September. excuse me, it's on the 4th of February. I have no idea what season we're in. It's the lack of snow. See, I know that Kim really loves the not snow. I don't know when it is. Are we in April? Are we in January? Are we in September? I have no idea what's going on. That's why I need a calendar and Google. So with that, I'm going to send it back to Kim and Tracy. Take it away.
Thanks, Jon. And that event that you're putting on looks pretty interesting. I hear you're pretty booked, and it's going to be a pretty big event.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty
Nice.
cool.
Nice. So, welcome Lisa to the show. Lisa provides drinking water solutions to businesses of every kind in the greater Milwaukee area. She's been doing this for a year. She specializes in bottle-free water coolers, which tap into the existing water source, providing on-site reverse osmosis filtration for unlimited hot and cold water, also ice and sparkling water. So,
Sparkling water is,
Absolutely.
like, all the rage right
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
Mhm.
Tracy and Kim, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for joining us today.
It's great to be here.
So back to our audience question of the day, the client relationship. What is your experience with when you're working with clients? How far do you go in the relationship building?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. It's absolutely essential, I think, in any aspect of business, and no exception with developing a relationship with my water clients. I think that people ultimately buy from people. I mean, certainly they're
Mhm.
loyal to brands, they love product, but I think people buy from people. And so it's really essential that you relate with someone as a human being first, before you get into a business relationship. And some clients, as you were saying, are more receptive to that perhaps than others. So it's just kind of reading that client and figuring out where that begins and ends, and you kind of take it from there. But I love it when I can have a wonderful human relationship with my clients, because I think that makes my day, that much better, and hopefully theirs as well.
It's interesting because I used to rep direct sales. And so when I did that, that is 100% on the relationship, because when you're repping a company and someone's like, I don't like that person, they're going to go find someone else.
Right.
So, and especially if you're repping for a corporation, they'll be like, well, I'll find a different water company.
Right.
I don't want to deal with this person.
Absolutely.
So that's
just no connection there. It's a big miss. But I'm very fortunate too, because I feel very passionate about what I bring to the party. I think a great product that does bring value added. So I think just psychologically, it's easier for me to make that connection, because I'm have that passion as well. So I think that helps.
That's super important.
And everybody's heard of this company,
Right.
Yes.
I mean, it has a wonderful reputation. It's been around for 85 years, and water treatment is simply all we do. So we're not your, local rug company that happens to sell water. We are a water company. So I firmly believe if you want the best, product, you go to the source and to the company that does and specializes in that product. Makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. I appreciate and agree with that totally. Absolutely. What's the most frequent misconception you discover in business when you're talking to people about drinking water?
Yeah. I think it's people that say, oh, we don't really need that. We just drink from the tap, or, people just bring their own, water to our company. I think that having a great source of drinking water is sort of a minimum expectation these days in a workplace. And I don't think that any of our young, workers want to be filling up their awesome Yeti bottle, like at the tap. There just is no allure there. So they really want a great source of water that they know is filtered, or that, it has some quality to it. And, our drinking water here we're very fortunate. But there are things in our drinking water, ways that our water is treated with things that we don't necessarily want to be ingesting a great deal of these days. So anything that we can do to, make that water, that all important water that we all should be drinking so much of, better for you, I think is just a great asset. It's not a hugely expensive thing to bring to your employees, but I will tell you, they love it. I have been greeted, myself and my licensed installers have been greeted with cheers and applause and very excited people when we bring our product into the business. So it's fun.
If you're taking a company off of tap water and they're getting
Mhm.
great water,
Right.
how could you complain, right?
It makes me think of my dealership when I take my car in for an oil change, and they've got the nice coffee machine, and then they've got the water thing. I don't know, remember what it is. If it's like coming out of it's not coming out of the sink. It's coming out of some other machine.
Yeah.
So you can't really see like the jugs that we're used to seeing, but it's like
Right.
some other machine.
Anytime I can rescue someone from the 5-gallon jugs, I'm super excited because those are so problematic in so many ways. And just the workman's comp claims from, lifting and toting those bottles. I mean, and then from the bacteria and the receptacle, because nobody ever cleans those. So
Right.
yes, there's a lot. And the environmental aspect of what I do also gives me a lot of pleasure, just to tell people that, unfortunately, these have their place. And thankfully we have, single serve water bottles, but 85% of these end up in a landfill. So that's just the sad fact.
Mhm.
So that leads me to my next question about the 5-gallon bottled water delivery. So what are the better solutions for that?
So as you said in my intro so eloquently, we offer a bottleless cooler solution. There are several different types that we can choose from, some of which also make ice, which is a wonderful thing that also gets people very jazzed. We have regular ice and chipped ice, so that like the hospital ice or the shaved ice machines, those get people very excited. So bottleless coolers are a technology that a lot of people are just not aware of, but we can tap right into the water source, and we have built-in reverse osmosis filtration, and that produces just a wonderful product, the same if not better quality product that comes from the bottle in an unlimited quantity from your bottleless cooler. It's a set it and forget it kind of a thing. We take care of all your maintenance, we take care of all your filter changes on the annual basis. You have to think of nothing from there. So it's really an excellent solution, which, as I said, just really brings some great quality to your business and something that you don't have to think of.
Does that end up being kind of a cost savings when it boils down to the big 5-gallon, just probably in work comp alone, right?
Depending on how much you're consuming, it can be a savings. It can be a wash or a similar cost. If it is more expensive, it's minimal. But when you think of the advantages of not having to receive those bottles, having that shipment come to you, not having to store those bottles and return the empties, not having to clean that water cooler, not having, not worrying about running out of water. I mean, that's, water consumption goes up and down seasonally. So you have to think about, am I going to have enough, in August? And somebody has to manage that. So think about the cost, savings involved in all of those aspects of
the savings of if they were drinking tap water, and we were back in like I don't know, 20 years ago when we had the cryptosporidium thing happen.
So many stories about
Yeah, like if something like that happened against all your employees are out sick,
that. Right.
and now you're dealing with that.
Think about when you hear about water main breaks. I mean, that happens all the time. Well, that water main was leaking for how long, before that it actually broke. So it just, again, it's another illustration of how do we really know what we're, ingesting in our water source? We don't know.
Yeah, if there is bottled water, I always choose that over tap water.
Absolutely.
Always.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. So you spoke a little bit about this before, but why Culligan?
Well, our reputation, water is all we do. Like I said, for 85 years, everyone that works for Culligan, all of our installers are licensed. We have some incredible tenure at our company. 20, 30 years, people who've been there and are dedicated, to the company. And it's just we have a great reputation. And the product is quality. It speaks for itself. And I mean, humbly, I say customer service is a reason why people will leave one company for another, I find. And we have outstanding customer service. Our customer service reps are second to none, and we jump, the minute our client has an issue. If they have an issue, we believe in that wholeheartedly. And I think that's key in this day and age. You have to, you have to be a great service provider. And I think we definitely are. that.
Mhm. So we have a lot of small business owners that watch our show, and even we'll watch it after today. But I'm curious, do you have any good sales pointers that you could give any of the small business owners? Being a representative for Culligan, what tips have really helped you service your customers, other than the fact about the part that you just said about jumping when there is an issue? What other kind of tips can you offer?
Sure. I mean, I love the topic that you all are discussing today, which is relationships. I think being sort of prospecting, I think, and going out there and looking for business and talking about your business and being confident and feeling like that you have something of value to bring, I think is very important. Sometimes I think the prospecting aspect of what I do is difficult. It really is not. It's really going out and just making new friends. And so that's something, when I talk about we talk about your inner narrative and what you have to do just to kind of get out and going every day. I think that's something that I try to remember, is just get out there and talk to people and make new friends.
Yeah. Awesome. That's a great tip.
I love that.
Yeah.
Tracy and I are always
Mhm.
networking. Always. That is our jam. So we have a question. Go Lisa. She is the water lady. It is
From
not
me?
actually a question. That's a great compliment. Thank
Yeah.
you, Nico.
Thanks, Nico.
Way to shout it out. I love it. So excited for you to join us today. Teach us a little bit about smart water for your office or small office. I mean, Expansive loves their water around here. So
Yeah.
just saying.
Who doesn't?
So do you have an offer or an event that you would like to share with our audience today?
We do.
Yeah.
I do. I would love to offer any member of your audience a 3-month trial, or one member of your audience, I should say, a 3-month trial on our bottleless cooler that produces ice. It's called the Peak, and it has unlimited hot and cold water and ice.
Nice.
And just FYI, also for all of your audience members, we do offer a 1-week free trial on all of our water coolers. We'd love to have you let us install the unit, kick the tires for a week or so, try it out, see what the reaction is with your employees, see how much they love it. That's how confident we are that you're going to love it and not, want to
After
want
you
to
have
lose
it a
it
week,
after you
you'll
have
be
it a
like,
week.
no,
So
I can't get rid of it.
So I'd love to offer for one lucky watcher or listener to the Connect Show, 3-month trial, free trial, 3-month free trial with a Culligan Peak unit.
Nice.
But for everyone to know, we do offer a 1-week free trial, which is part of what we do. And I think it's just a great, how can you say no? You're not sure, give it a go.
Yeah.
And a lot of our audience are very small business owners, possibly working out of their homes. Do you have reasonable home options also?
We do.
That,
I'm a commercial sales rep, but we also have an incredible household team that works with household members, and we definitely work with teams. I mean, there are teams as small as 2 to 4 that will make this a priority in their offices, anywhere from just hundreds of people. I mean, one of the most incredible parts of my job is that I get into all kinds of different businesses. Everyone needs water.
Mhm.
So people will tell me, what's your demo, like, who are you looking for? I say, it's everyone. From I've been into the, most gritty, like amazing manufacturing facilities to the most high-end, beautiful, law offices. So it's really one of the most wonderful aspects of what I do, that I get to see what's going on in Milwaukee, and what an amazing town, what an amazing work town. It just is fascinating to see what happens here. Milwaukee works, that's for sure.
Oh, that's amazing. Heck yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We have another one. Lisa builds long-lasting business relationships. She is the real deal and trustworthy.
Appreciate that, Amy.
It's no longer the Culligan man, but the Culligan woman.
Yes.
Yes, Karen.
Shout out to my sister in Walla Walla.
Thank
you, Karen.
Nice.
I love
You
it.
got a fan club
I
out here.
All right,
love
Lisa
it.
got a couple of viewers.
That's
That's
great.
awesome.
That is
awesome.
great. We do have a page on our website so people can connect with you, find out, try to get in on that. First person to connect with her could get that 3-month
Love it.
deal. It's at connectshow.com/Lisa Gregg. Producer John has it up on the screen. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you so much for having me. It's lovely to
Yes.
be here.
Absolutely. And look
coming on.
forward to my water. And we're going to hear from John.
Yes, we are. We're going to do a little switch up. And so that's when I get to have a little bit of time on the camera. So we are working with a lot of companies and developing AI to help podcasts go better, to help podcasts work better, the workflow. So if you are a podcaster, or create any type of content, and you think that AI might be something that's useful, please comment in the chat and let us know what you would struggle with. What are your challenges? What are your problems? What are you interested in learning more about? We'd love to hear about your interest in AI and the technology and how we can better help you in the future. And next week, I'll be sharing a little bit about a new channel that we're creating that's all about AI and how to use it in your workflow for podcasting and podcasting. So back to you, Kim and Tracy.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you, John. We're smelling jerky over here. He
Yes.
walks in, sits down, opens the bag, and now we have to smell it the rest of the show and be hungry.
We're gonna eat it before we're. He's gonna eat it.
Go ahead and eat it.
Are you going to stop me?
Nope.
No.
Nope. John, can we move on? Thank you, John.
Welcome, Gregory, to the show. Gregory Dobbs has been managing the beef jerky experience for 1.5 years and 7 years of serving and bartending. As a graduate of Marquette University and a Milwaukee local, he loves volunteering in his community and constantly improving himself.
His favorite jerky flavors are, can we go back to that? Thank you. Honey jalapeno and Cajun barbecue
I could've told you.
brisket.
Those
All
are
right.
wonderful flavors. All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to the audience question. What do you think about the relationship side of sales and relationships with clients?
Well, it's really wonderful because the way the jerky store works is that people come in and I give them the grand tour with free samples of all their portable Amish made goodies. And so what's wonderful about that is I get to talk to people very directly, like one-on-one. Anyone that buys jerky from the store is probably going to be interacting with me face to face at some point. And so what's wonderful about that, I mean, I've had customers before where they're only in there once a year to do holiday shopping. And then, I've had other customers where they're in there pretty much every week. And I go same as usual and they say, yup. And they get the same bag as usual. And that's always very nice. But I've also had customers where I had a very lovely old couple who the husband and the wife come in and the wife is kind of hauling the husband around. He's kind of inattentive or whatever. And I thought that's just the way it was. I thought that was just the way the relationship dynamic was. But then one day she comes in without him and it turns out, I'm not going to name any names, but it turns out he had dementia and she actually just put him in a home. But she was so lovely about it and everything. And she got the popcorn that he always liked. And we talked about that. And she was so happy that he was getting the care that he needed and everything. We just talked about that. Like, I don't know this lady outside of work or anything, but I was really happy to hear that my customers are doing well because they're guests and I try to treat them as well as possible. In fact, the first thing I learned working at this job, first thing my boss told me to do is open the door for the customer. And you never really get that anywhere. Like if you go into any kind of specialty store anywhere really, you don't get somebody opening the door for you to come in. That just doesn't happen. And so that alone, it kind of unnerves people in a certain way because they're like, oh, did you know I was coming here? I was like, no, I just welcome in. And that's all. And just the little things alone are so important when it comes to building relationships. It's like, it's the same thing with everything, right? Where if you're selling water, you want to make sure that the people know they can trust you. I think Lisa made a great point earlier about you buy from people. You don't necessarily, even if you have the best product in town, and I do, the point isn't that just that it's the best product. It's that you can trust me to tell you it's the best product and you can sample it yourself. That's another thing I love about my job is I'm feeding people and people like to talk when they eat. And so do I. And it's wonderful. So
Like to eat.
yeah, absolutely.
You made the greatest point because often I walk into a
Shucks,
store
thanks.
and they're sitting behind the cash register. Hi, thanks for coming in and back into their phone.
Yeah, I
Like,
can only
the
think
whole
of like
time.
one other restaurant or it was a restaurant where they would literally open the door. But the fact that I remembered that is the key
Mhm.
point right there.
I would love to know what restaurant that
It
is.
was,
Is it here in Milwaukee or?
I think it was.
Now she doesn't remember.
Oh, they're not here anymore. But I think it was it Applebee's? Maybe it was.
No
they were on
kidding,
like
really?
76th and 76th and Edgerton.
Wow,
They're in that corner
that's
there.
a pretty isolated Applebee's,
You
because a
would
lot
think.
of them, I mean, no disrespect, but
Yeah.
you know, a lot of customer service jobs, you know, serving and bartending for as long as they have, a lot of them don't really. It's a clock in, clock out deal, and see how
Right.
much money you can squeeze out of people.
And maybe it was just that couple of times experience that I
Sure.
went there. Maybe it was just a certain
Well, that's
person
remarkable, isn't
that
it? That's,
maybe it was a hostess doing it.
and that
Yeah.
made you remember that,
Yeah,
right?
that I
It's just
remembered it,
little
yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
It's not hard to create a good impression right off the bat with somebody.
And that's exactly what that does, is it creates a good impression. So they're already on a higher level of thinking when they come in. They're already feeling a little bit more open-minded about anything you want that you're selling or giving them, because they're not feeling they've already been treated very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
they're guests.
audience, if you have a brick and mortar, do you open the door?
Yeah, open the door.
Do you open the door?
I say all you hostesses sitting there waiting for them to come in, go stand by the door.
Right.
Let them in.
Absolutely.
He's like, no, then you're gonna take it away from us.
No, by all means, try. I like
Yeah.
Move it, John.
So what is the hardest part about starting out working at the beef jerky experience?
Well, it's kind of funny. So my boss there, the guy that actually owns that location, he's a Marine, and so he's got very, very particular attention to detail. And because when I worked there, I thought the store, you know, I close the store down. He comes in on the weekends, and I'm thinking, oh, it's clean, it's spotless. I swept, I mopped everything, and then he'll discover very, very like what seems like nitpicking to a lot of people, and for a lot of jobs, you would consider it nitpicking. Like one time, he dinged me on having a trash can facing the wrong way, and it sounds really petty to a lot of people. But the way you do the little things is the way you do everything, and that's one big thing I've learned in this job. I mean, if you ask anyone that's yeah, they will ding you on that stuff. You know, if your drill instructor comes in and your bed isn't squared away, you know, they're not just going to, you know, say you did something wrong. They're going to yell at you. They're going to make you do PT, all kinds of stuff. And so that's one of the things that was difficult for me starting out, and I still struggle with, is that level of attention to detail when it comes to where everything is in the store precisely. And it's still something, and it's something I've learned, and it's something I've learned to love, and actually struggle with myself to be like, how can I make the store? How can I make it beautiful? How can I make it welcoming for my guests, my customers? And it's something that it's taken me a while to learn, but it's definitely been a wonderful journey. I mean, I instinctively now, whenever I had a customer come get out of the store and the store is empty, I go around, I readjust the barrels, I sweep, I mop, all this other stuff, just to make sure that the store is beautiful every time we have a customer in. And that's so important to me.
That's quality.
That is quality. And
Thank you.
the thing about that is, too, that's kind of cool, is the customer is going to know where to go every time for something, too. If it's not constantly changing, they can come in and feel like they know the space that they're in a little
Well,
bit.
it's also they feel safe there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we give people food there. So if you ever eaten at a restaurant and, you know, you're on your way to sit down at a table and all of a sudden you see like just this half a burger just laying on the floor because somebody dropped it there and nobody's sweeping it up, that doesn't make you confident in the food they're serving,
Right.
because that means nobody wanted to finish it. And more importantly, nobody's keeping the place clean for you to eat in.
Oh, that's absolutely right.
And so that's just very, very little things like that. You know, it doesn't take a lot to develop an atmosphere of quality. Just keep it clean and make sure people are welcome there.
That's great.
I really like it. What's the target market of the beef jerky experience? Is it mostly like older men, hunter guys?
You know what's funny? No. So about 9/10 of our customers, I talked to my boss about this, and we're going on 11 years there. 9/10 of our customers are actually women. And as
I believe it. I love beef jerky.
So do I.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I mean, the stereotype is for a lot of people, especially city folk, it's kind of interesting. The stereotype is that beef jerky is mostly for, you know, guys that hunt, you know, kind of gristled old military guys or whatever. It really isn't. It's for everyone. And so we've gotten customers in there. It's especially funny because even if you don't like beef jerky, I've had plenty of customers where they're buying for somebody else and they're swearing up and down, I don't like beef jerky, it hurts my teeth, etc. And then I ask them very nicely and I go, here, let me feed you. And then I try them something. And before you know it, they're loving everything in the store. They're trying all these things they never tried before. They're opening their horizons and they're having just a great time doing it. And that's what I enjoy. I'm like, oh, do you like, and we have a jerky that's a bourbon jerky that's actually made with Maker's Mark. And if you know anything about bourbon, that's a pretty high quality
Absolutely.
bourbon. But we've had customers who've been on the tours, have
Is
dipped
there
their own
still
bottles.
alcohol in the jerky after it's
It's
made?
cooked out. So I mean, I'm sure you could find a way to do it yourself, you know, if you just want to kind of dip it in there. But no, it's
Instead of tunking it in
exactly.
coffee or
Yeah, there you
tunking
go.
it in bourbon.
Boy, what a morning you must be having.
Stunning experience.
Exactly. The extended beef jerky experience.
Right.
Exactly. But no, it's wonderful because we have a flavor like that, and there's people who go on all these distillery tours and whatnot, and they love that flavor where it's got a smoky flavor with like chocolate or caramel underneath. It really does have that flavor. And then the Cajun barbecue brisket, which is what was mentioned, was one of my favorite flavors. That one's actually a brisket cut, and since it's on the smoke side, I mean, you've never had a jerky that tender. I mean, it falls apart in your mouth. It's got a little bit of spice to it. From the Cajun seasoning, and then it's got like a sweet barbecue flavor as well. And so we've got all these different flavors that people, because most people, when you think of jerky, you think teriyaki, peppercorn, and original, and we have those too. But like, there's so many other
Taking
things you
it
can do with it.
further.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and so I try people things like people don't know that you can make prime rib jerky. This is actually prime rib cut
Wow.
with chop house style seasoning, and this one's one of our most popular jerkies just because it's delicious. People like it. So, I mean, I could go on. I'm talking for like an hour.
I
here.
know I've been to the store and I think there was a cherry something. that I
Yep,
was
cherry
like,
maple beef. That is the
Oh
most popular
my.
jerky in the store. Hey, focus on her face right now.
That was
Watch her
fabulous.
as she's talking about how yummy that jerky is.
That
Isn't that
was-
wonderful? Look at her.
that
She's
was
tearing up.
fabulous.
It's amazing.
Crying. It was so good.
So, are you in other locations throughout Milwaukee? Are you in any other
we're
stores,
so
or
we're just in. So this store is Franklin. We don't really have any other locations in Milwaukee itself. One of the things I love about our location is that even though it might be a bit of a hike since it's in Franklin for people from Milwaukee, we're actually in a great location because if you need to get from like Illinois to Milwaukee, you basically just pass by our store because we're right there on, I think it's I-94. So we're right off of there. So if you're ever visiting family in Illinois or going from a trip south up, you basically pass by our store every time, and beef jerky is amazing road trip food, and it's just good for you in general. This is a kind of a non sequitur, but last year I lost 40 pounds, and a large part of it.
it's
Thank
all
you.
part of the keto thing?
Right.
It's amazing for you. Red meat is good for you, and then when you take away like a lot of the stuff that would make it bad, like if you try and eat like a McDonald's burger, and God knows where that's made,
Right.
or out of what. And it turns out when you eat a lot of steak and it's good for you, there's no like weird preservatives in there. There's no MSG. That's a big one. It's just night and day, and you get so much healthier. So I'm a big believer in eating meat, although we do, another non sequitur, we do have a lot of Amish made products. And so we actually do have a decent amount of customers who are vegetarian or vegan or pescatarian, which is like you eat fish but not red meat. And we have stuff for all kinds of people. So we have a lot of seasonings. We have dried vegetables. That's very, very big for a lot of people who want something to snack on but not meat.
I
we
do
have,
not.
I'm gonna try that out.
I remember seeing fished like.
Oh, yeah, salmon
Salmon.
jerky. Yep.
Yep,
yep.
I've never
Did you
seen
try the
that.
caramel corn?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
Did not.
You must try it. It is amazing. We have a peanut butter and chocolate one. I'm telling you, you'll just, your eyes will be like, it's amazing.
Crying again.
Yes, exactly.
Crying.
Precisely. Yes.
Do you have a website? Can people order this online if they can't make it to your store?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's beef jerky. If you just look up beef jerky outlet Franklin, the website domain has changed relatively recently. I think currently it's beefjerkyx/Franklin. But if you just look up beef jerky Franklin or beef jerky outlet or experience Franklin, it's interchangeable, means the same thing.
Okay.
You can find us very easily. We actually have free shipping for orders over $100. So that's anywhere in the United States, anywhere the USPS ships, we go.
Wow.
And we also have, just another small plug, we also have an option to donate. So like I said, my boss is a Marine. We do a lot of stuff with the veterans community, both in town and also overseas active duty service members. And so you can donate Heroes snack packs. We match all donations of that. We actually use it to send care packages overseas and also to local police stations and firehouses.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
we've been doing that
I
for
love that.
years, and we've donated more money than you'd believe.
That
to
is
these
wonderful.
organizations.
Absolutely wonderful. So we have viewership besides Milwaukee.
Mhm.
So are there other locations in Wisconsin? Is this just a Franklin thing?
So there's
or-
one in Baraboo. There's one in, and they all work a little bit differently. So they don't actually work like how our stores
so they're
work.
not all the same.
Correct. So,
Okay.
so they have similar products, but you're not going to get the same tour or the same level of expertise
So I need to see
necessarily.
you
And
in
that sounds bad.
Franklin.
You really should see me in Franklin.
Got it.
Correct.
Got it. Now I know. Now I know. See how that works.
So we, I think we covered a bunch of this already, but what makes your jerky special from other jerky aside from the no MSG and we get to see
So-
you.
There
and
was
all that kind
one
of stuff.
thing right on there. Did they have alligator and salmon?
Oh,
This is
I think-
correct. So not only do we have a wider variety than say gas station jerkies, but I'll put it this way: if you buy from us, everything that you buy in the store is made in America, front to back, made. It's raised in the case of the beef and all these other animals. It's cooked, it's packaged, everything front to back in America. Jack Link's and other gas station brands, if you look on their bags, they say packaged in America.
Mm.
And that is a substantial difference because they get their meat from other places which have a much wider definition of what it means to be beef.
Sure.
And so that means it could be, it is other things other than cows.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really gross. And
Mhm.
so I would prefer that my customers eat beef when they're buying beef. And so I don't want to go off on it because I don't want to make you guys lose your appetites. But basically, we don't chemical douse our meat. We don't get it from other countries. We have an incredibly high standard of jerky. And in fact, we have such a high standard. Excuse me, my mouth is still full.
That's what you get when you eat jerky on camera.
This is correct. We have such a high standard that we're actually, do you people know what a fair use store is?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you can basically, it's a store where you can actually travel with the goods. And so that's what it means. And so if you look at our store, our prices, all the beef jerky in the store and some of our other goodies, it depends on sugar tax, which is this kind of weird thing Wisconsin has. But all of the jerky in our store is not taxed. So if you pay $10.99 for a bag of jerky, that's it. It's $10.99. There's no tax on the jerky itself. And the reason being is because it's such a high quality product.
Mm.
And so the same with everything else in our store. I mean, heck, my boss gets people sending us hot sauces and other jerkies and things like that, literally just in the meal, unprompted. And what he does is we don't even try them. We send them to a lab to confirm that they're made in America and to confirm that there's no heavy metals or other crap in them. And then maybe we'll contact them about stocking us.
That's
So like we have
some screening.
We have a very serious process with this because we don't, like I said, it's all about quality. I mean, we could just stock some hamburger meat and season it with salt and pepper, call it a day. That's why.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
That's
when
boring.
you can provide quality.
And I would believe that they follow that process on everything that before it gets on their shelves, just by the way that they do their garbage cans in their lobby.
Yeah.
I mean that
just
just
the-
speaks volumes.
Well, I
does.
mean,
It
how
does.
was your
Yeah.
experience when you went there? Did I help you, or was it
No,
somebody
I
else?
was at a different location. That's why I asked you the
for
other
sure.
locations.
No,
Yes.
we're the
So,
best one.
I
mean,
did not
other-
know that it was in Franklin.
Oh no.
No,
We've
I was almost Illinois.
Oh,
Yes.
that would be Pleasant
Pleasant
Prairie, I
Prairie.
think.
Yes.
Yeah, Pleasant Prairie is a newer location. And to tell the truth, I'm quite certain that you would have encountered some young teenager on
Definitely.
there. Yeah. So
Definitely.
that's why you should go to Franklin.
The door was not open for me, and Franklin
Really?
is much closer.
Well,
Yeah.
no
Then-
wonder you were confused. You were like, "That's not my experience there," and it's like, "No, different
Yeah.
different store." I
Yeah.
promise.
No, I wasn't talking about your store. I mean, in general, when you walk into a store, someone's doing that. No
Right,
matter
well,
what.
But no, but that's what I mean is that
Yeah.
like this is even as far as the several stores
Yeah.
go, it's like we definitely hold ourselves to the
standards.
highest standard, and I think that's true with anything. I mean, you can
Yeah.
do that even if you work at a McDonald's, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
If you open up a McDonald's, it should be part of the mission statement to provide. Like, listen, it's going to be the best McDonald's you've ever been to. It's going to be clean. Everyone there's going to be polite, and you get your food on time.
Yeah.
And it's just very simple, like what would seem like minimal standard stuff, but it's really important.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And as small business owners, I think that
Mhm.
that's what sets us apart.
Without a
you know,
doubt,
to
yeah.
Right.
make us different is that is
Mhm.
that customer journey
Exactly.
all the way through. So
Yeah.
So we have, you're forgetting our producer.
Oh, I answered
Our
that question.
producer.
He's just back there relaxed.
No,
He's
he's
just
smiling,
enjoying
he's
the
smelling
conversation.
He's
jerky.
thinking about beef jerky. He's like, man, I could go for some of that right now.
So we really want to thank you for being on the show today.
You're
I
welcome.
just busted
You're-
on that.
You're fine.
Go ahead.
Do you have any specials or offers for the audience?
Oh, just the same thing I offer everyone. If you come in, I'll give you the grand tour, open the door for you, all that good stuff. And there'll be free samples of all our portable steak and Amish made goodies. And so, you know, dried green beans, caramel corn, which you must try. It's spectacular.
I don't
We have
think that's
gummy
on
bears.
the
We
keto
have
diet,
what?
though. I don't know if that's on keto.
I don't do keto, so I don't care.
Perfect. See?
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Can't do keto all the time.
Try some prime rib. I'll try her some prime rib after we're off, and she'll love it. It'll be
But
great.
see, if you're eating the jerky and no other carbs, like if you're not, then you can eat the caramel corn. because you've
Or you could just eat the caramel corn and treat yourself. I mean, like, who
That's
said
true.
cheat days don't exist? I mean, I'm just saying.
Producer has a question.
Did you just call it portable steak?
Yes, that is actually what it
His
is.
Totally
question
portable
was, did
steak.
you just call it portable steak? If
Because
that's
it
the
actually is.
question.
This is a prime rib cut.
It's
Most of our
prime
other
rib.
cuts are tenderloin cuts. And then we also have a brisket cut. So we don't do that mechanically separated crap. We don't shove the whole cow into a machine and call it a day. Right. See, that is the correct reaction. Correct. So we actually do take our quality very seriously. It is literally portable steak.
There's
So-
a lot of protein in jerky.
Oh, gosh,
and there's
yes.
not as much fat, I don't think, in there as if you were actually eating a prime rib. Like, I think it's
Well, I mean, I suppose
higher
it
in
depends on
protein.
where you get the prime rib from. But yeah,
Yeah.
so this one has per serving size. So each serving size is an ounce. Per serving, it has 1.5 grams of fat, which is
very low.
very low,
Mhm.
and 14 grams of protein. So I've been
It's
working out.
incredible.
And only 80 calories I saw. He
It's
didn't talk about that.
incredible.
Some people count calories.
Well, I mean, so I've been working
It's
out
only-
recently, in case you haven't noticed.
Oh,
And one of the things that's important in a lot of workout programs is amount of protein in, and
Protein.
depending what your goals
Mhm.
are. Some people want to lose weight, some people want to gain muscle. I personally want to gain a little bit more muscle,
Mhm.
and so this is great for that because
Yes.
it's a very good way to know what protein's going in without affecting your carbs or calories
Yeah.
as
Exactly,
much. And so I could eat
exactly.
this entire bag and it'd give me, let's see, how many grams of protein is it again? I think it's 14.
14?
14 times 8 is
Mm. It would be more than you
112,
would
I
need
think.
even in one day.
no, God, no. What are you talking about? You need now it depends on your goals, right? So
But-
I'm
Yes.
maybe not for you,
Yes.
but like for me, from what I've heard, now this is going off on a sidetrack. From what I've heard, depending on your goals, some people you want to eat about a gram of protein for every pound of body weight or something like that. So
Mhm,
like
mhm.
for me, I can eat this and then just go about like eating kind of crummier food for the rest of the day, and I know my protein will be pretty much taken care of,
Yep.
and then I'll be good.
Mhm.
And it's a little bit easier to eat over the course of a day than say like 3 or 4 protein shakes.
I was just
It's
going to
only
say,
better
and you
for your
don't have
gut.
to. You don't have to suck down the protein shakes.
Yeah,
Oof,
it's
they can be
Yeah,
definitely-
or the
rough.
protein bars, which
It can be rough.
aren't
Yeah,
so
if
great
you
either.
guys know of any like locally made protein bars, you should have them on the show so I can figure out if I can get something edible.
All right.
that'd be a great
Find
idea.
that out.
Sure.
Find that
Yeah.
out.
Well, I mean,
You
not
have
to
a
t-
locally made protein bar.
Absolutely. Well, I mean,
Comment in
not
the
to turn the show into nutrition though, because this stuff is delicious and it's for everyone. I mean, they're great gifts, and Valentine's Day is coming up, and the quickest way to somebody's heart is, of course, through their stomach.
Oh, I would
Absolutely.
totally take beef jerky over
Absolutely.
chocolate for Valentine's Day.
You hear that, Tracy's significant other, wherever you are?
Beef jerky over chocolate.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I
Yes.
remember you two said that. So if you two have boyfriends, husbands, both?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm just saying, I'll have my business
Put it
card,
out
hand
there.
it to them. If they
Put
don't
it out
give
there.
it to you,
It's 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away, something like that.
easy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like
Or
that.
just if you like us.
We
Just-
want portable steak. That's it.
buy them
Word of the
things.
day. Word of the
Do you
day.
have a mailing address for this place so people can like mail you in a PO
It
box
is.
or
It's right there
something?
on the website.
Do you actually?
Yes.
All right, guys, you know what to do.
I think it's 11950 us Burley.
Yep.
Burley. You know. I mean, hey,
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
throw 'em out there.
I don't know if it's
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
but you know, sweet 100.
Start
Studio
reciting
A5.
digits of pi.
Studio A5. So thank you so much for joining us. We do have a page on
Mhm.
the website for you, which John will plug up after our word of the day. And it's theconnectshow.com/Greg Dobbs. And
Mhm.
we're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Thank
now
you.
we can eat beef jerky.
I know.
Yeah, would you care
We're
to?
just about done. Would you like some jerky, Tracy?
Mhm.
I'm taking some jerky for after I'm done talking.
Please do. Lisa,
Yeah,
feel
I'm
free as
waiting.
well.
I'm waiting. Thank you for the jerky.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. What a fun show today.
Mhm. Mhm.
2 consumable products that
Go
I
great
like,
together.
love,
by
and
the
enjoy.
way.
Exactly.
I like, love, and enjoy.
You want
So
to learn how to drink more water? Eat more beef jerky. It'll
Totally.
come quite naturally.
Totally.
it will.
Mhm.
It will.
Water is good for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
So is jerky. Protein.
Sure.
You proved it. You guys both proved your point today. I love it. What a great
Mhm.
show.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah,
This
I don't
really
know.
does taste like prime rib, you guys.
Well, because it is. Why are
Okay,
you
Tracy could
surprised?
talk and I'll try it. Okay, but I'll chew for like
So
an
we
hour.
want to thank all of our volunteers for helping out today. I'm sure you guys received some emails from Elena and Elaine. Please reach out to them if you want to connect at all. And thanks for everybody for coming today. I appreciate you guys coming in. And join us next week for our next show, which has Brian Simmons from Rely Local and Ben Palmer from Think Local. All the local next
local,
week. Local.
This
So
is prime rib for sure.
I know, it's great.
100% prime
And
rib.
that's
And
pretty
I
much
don't
all
eat
we
prime
have
rib.
today.
Come here.
See, there we go. This is a way I'll eat prime rib. Otherwise, it's too fatty. So thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Help our community grow. Reach out. Invite a person you feel would benefit from being a part of the journey. Like, subscribe, share, comment on our socials. Anything you like, let us know. Email us if you have a guest or you want to be a guest on the show. And we will see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.